It's Curiously Kara. So those are the first one I wrote was Curiously Kara meets Pharaoh Hatshepsut. And so there's actually like a background story on why I started that I try and portray to people who are interested in the series. And I don't do the best job with social media. Social media is also one of those things where I'm just like, I'm just here to pop in, not tell what I'm doing, and so it doesn't really work if you have a business. Um, but so Curiously Kara came about. My oldest daughter is, well, she's now 18. And then my youngest daughter is currently 5. And so my mother passed away in 2017. And so that means she got to spend like not as much time as we all would have preferred, but she got to spend some time with my oldest daughter, and really not much with my youngest daughter. And so um, I'd I'd had this idea with my husband, like when Kara was a baby, to just write some kids books. And so we came up with, it had to be like 50 just titles about how to do, not how to, so it's like how to do this, how to do that, how to deal with such and such. They were pretty basic. But after my mom died, I was like, I want to somehow like keep her memory alive. And so I came up with this idea to have her take journeys with my youngest daughter that she didn't get to actually take because she passed away. And so it kept kind of evolving like, not only do I want her to take journeys, I want them to actually learn something. And so that's how that came about. So the main characters in the story are Kara, my mother, who goes by Grandma in the story, and actually, our cat has gone on to cross that rainbow bridge as well. But our cat, who becomes like a talking cat in the series, and so together they all take journeys to different lands and time periods to learn about different people. So currently, the series is African Queens, and so that's why they went to meet Pharaoh Hatshepsut in Egypt. And so the next one, it actually got the proof for that, I want to say last week. So it'll be coming out next month. But they are going to Nubia, which was ancient kingdom of Kush, to meet Queen Amanirenas. She was one of the woman kings, I should say. And so that's why the first at least 3 will be about African queens. And so I actually have both of those here. Is it backwards? Oh, it's not. Never mind the sticker that's actually on that. My daughter is in a sticker phase, and so she put a little sticker. Oh, wrong side. Right here. So this was the first one, and then she put a sticker on this one too. So this one, let me see. Curiously Kara meets Queen Amanirenas. And so in this one, because the character's name it's Queen Amanirenas, I actually decided to introduce my oldest daughter to the series. She just kind of appears in there as a younger version of herself. So her real name is Amani, and so that's how I was able to kind of like introduce her, like Queen Amanirenas. And so in the book, Amani is named after the queen, but in real life, she's not. But it kind of just worked out that way. It worked out perfectly for her to be added into the series.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's very very creative and it's inspiring. I'm sure the viewers will definitely have to check those out for sure. Now, have you been to Africa? Have you been to Egypt? Have you been to Nubia and Kush and these places?
No, no, only only online and books and through articles. One day I hope to get over there, but not yet. There's so many places that I want to travel to. I know you do take not vacations, but you do happen to go to a lot of different countries. How many are you up to now?
Yeah, yeah. I've been to like 70 countries, but I've been to
Oh,
like
wow.
15, 20 African countries, but I go to Egypt all the time. I've been to Egypt like 10 times.
Oh,
I was
wow.
just there in January, but they
Okay.
got a Hatshepsut's temple. So if you ever
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to Hatshepsut's temple in
Mhm.
Luxor, and she was phenomenal. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that you actually wrote a book about this. She was the first pharaoh, but she was a strong, black, powerful, educated woman. So
yeah,
boys and girls need to learn about her. So thank you
yeah,
for
yeah, and I think she might have actually been the 2nd. mm, I haven't like, I feel a little bit unprepared because 'cause I'm like, "Wait, was she this?" I think she was either the 2nd. I think she was the 2nd known woman pharaoh. Um, but yeah, and so they actually do go and see, the temple. You're talking about Jezeru?
Well, they got a couple of them, but they got one specifically dedicated to Hatshepsut. Cause
Okay.
like I got a lot of pictures and stuff. Cause when she ruled as a pharaoh, people was hating on her, but she was so
Yeah,
powerful they couldn't do nothing with her. But when she died, like when you go to other parts of Luxor, you will see like her picture, her image. They like scratching it off the wall. They was hating on her.
yeah,
When she
yeah,
passed away or whatever. But yeah,
yeah.
that's dope for real. I appreciate you putting that together.
Yeah, no,
That's
she was I fell in love with her story just because it was like, um, she had to kind of form herself to be like, I am born from like a god. So she said her father was the god Amun or Amen, depending on how you pronounce it. And then she wore like the pharaoh headdress with the beard to make like the people respect her, like she should be, or she could be as just as powerful as like a male pharaoh. And so it was really interesting. Um, so from my research, they say that they still don't know what really happened to her or why she was like hidden. I'm interested to know it because you've traveled there. If they've said anything like, because they've kind of said like, oh, it could have been her brother or it could have been her brother Tutmosa, or it could have been just some locals because she was a woman, so they didn't want that really getting out. Were you do you know anything more? I'm just like curious.
Oh yeah, it's like one of them things. Like it's not a definitive answer. Like you say, people feel one way or the other about it. But like I say, when you go to other parts of Egypt, you'll see her image removed. So it's probably like somebody of a higher class that
Mhm.
really had a problem with her, like you say, because she was a woman. She was into men, but she ruled as a pharaoh. Because you had many queens, but like you say, she the second pharaoh. So she wore the false
Yeah.
beard. She
Mhm.
wore the Pharaoh's headdress.
Yeah.
So, even like today, you got people who still have to overcome challenges and obstacles just because they're black and they're a woman. So they got to go through a
Mhm.
lot more than the
Yeah.
average person just to do, what everybody else has been doing for years.